Alright, boys and girls, today what we're going to do is we're going to review all the rhythms that we're going to need to know that are above my head / on my head for our Happier by Marshmallow bucket drumming video. I've got a YouTube video for us to bucket drum along to, but today what I'm going to do is go one by one on each of the rhythms that you're going to need to know. Now you can see on the sides here, we're looking at 4-measure phrasing, right? So our rhythms are starting to get a little bit longer. And you'll see here, there are only 2 measures above me. One of the whole rests is blue. It really shouldn't be. I'm just still working on the technology bit. But one of the whole rests are blue, the other one's black. Those are 2 measures, but there's a little repeat sign at the end. So this 2 measures is going to get repeated. So 2 plus 2 equals 4-measure phrasing. So this one here is nothing but silence. So we shouldn't really have to practice this. We'll just count it through. Rest, 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 rest. Repeat. Rest, 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 rest. We did it. So now when we go on to our next rhythm, this one's a little bit easier than the next one, but at least we have something to do, right? So it goes like this. Rest, rest, click, rest, click, you try. Good. Now this one also has a repeat sign, so it's going to be twice as long. I play, then you play. Rest, 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 rest. Your turn. Rest. Good. I know these 4-measure phrases are getting a little bit longer, right? So let's move on to this next one. You'll see here it starts with quarter note, and then another quarter note, which is a stick click, and then you've got 2 eighth notes there. One of them is an 8th rest, and then the other one's an 8th note in the middle, and then we've got another stick click for the 4th quarter note in that first measure. The first measure sounds like this. It sounds like. Can you try just that measure with me? 1, 2, ready, go. Good. Now, the second measure sounds kind of the same. The only thing that's different is the last beat. Instead of having a stick click as a quarter note at the end of the measure, it has, so it goes toddy. So we're going to put our sticks together, and then we're going to hit the middle of the drum for the D portion of that 8th note. So the second measure sounds like this. You try, right? Now. Good, and when we put those 2 measures together, they sound like this. Right? And then if we look at the bottom 2 measures here of our 4-measure phrasing, both of these measures look exactly like the first measure of rhythm C here. So they're the same. So let's do all 4 measures. I play, then you play. 1, 2, my turn first. Easy enough? Your turn. 1, 2, ready, go. Good. Now, the next rhythm here that we've got, sorry my head's in the way, let me get myself out of the way just a touch. Sorry. There. I didn't realize that I would be so in the way. Now, when I go to do this rhythm, the first 2 measures are kind of the same as rhythm B. We have the stick clicks on every other beat, except for this time, it's on the rim of the drum, on the edge, right? So this one's going to sound like this. Rest, click, rest, click, rest, click, rest, click, right? Now, the next 2 measures, this is where things get a little trickier. the first measure of the bottom half that we're looking at here, the first measure where it's like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. You're going to hit middle of the drum, both, the middle and the outside, back to the middle of the drum, and then both, right? So this measure will sound like this. You try. 1, 2, ready, go. Perfect. So let's do the first measure, the second measure, and the third measure. Don't worry about that last measure that's got those crazy rhythms in it, alright? Start with the first, second, and third measure. Let's do it together. 1, 2, ready, go. Rest, 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 rest. Now this is where it's going to get a little bit more wild, right? This is where we have Takadimi, Takadimi, Triplet, Ta. We just learned about triplets in class when we caught our Charmander Pokemon. So this is the perfect time to use that rhythm that we learned. Now you'll see the Takadimi, Takadimi in the middle of the drum is all by itself. Takadimi, Takadimi. And then we're going to have Triplet, Ta, which are hit on both the middle of the drum and the rim of the drum. So let's try just that last rhythm. My turn, then your turn. Takadimi, Takadimi, Triplet, Ta. You go now. Takadimi, Takadimi, Triplet, Ta. Right? Perfect. So now let's just try the last two measures of this rhythm. I go, then you go. Takadimi, Takadimi, Triplet, Ta. You go now. Takadimi, Takadimi, Triplet, Ta. My sticks kind of got jumbled up there. Let's try again together. 1, 2, last two measures. Takadimi, Takadimi. Perfect. So when we do this whole rhythm together, it'll sound like this. Rest, 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 rest. Takadimi, Takadimi. Perfect. Let's move on. Now if we look at rhythm E, these rhythms look very similar to rhythm C that we learned earlier. But instead of the stick clicks, now we've got the rim of the drum. So we've got ta, ta, dee ta, dee ta, ta, dee ta, 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 dee ta, dee ta, ta, dee ta. Good. I play, then you play. Ta, ta, dee ta, dee ta, ta, dee ta, 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 dee ta, dee ta, ta, ta. Your turn now. Perfect. Because we've already done this one similarly, that one normally doesn't take too long. Now, once you've learned that, you know all the rhythms that you're going to need for this. So if you need to go back and review any of these rhythms, feel free to do so. And then, after you've got these rhythms down and you're ready to go, feel free to hit play on that YouTube video that I've posted for you and play along with it. We'll see you next time. Bye.